Hi everyone! Not too long ago, I did a video talking about my 10 worst cost per wear luxury purchases, and some of you asked me to follow up and do this video sharing my 10 best luxury purchases when it comes to cost per wear. Now, I was a little reluctant to make this video because frankly, we know that when it comes to high-end luxury purchases, they're not great for cost per wear because even if you wear them quite a lot, you'd have to wear them for years, make use of them for a long time to bring the cost per wear down, again, because of the original price tag being so high. But I do have some items that I have stayed really true and consistent with in terms of my usage, and I don't see them going anywhere, and I do think that they have turned out to be a decent value even though they came with the luxury price tags. So for starters, I wanted to share with you my Hermes Click H bracelet. This is the thinner one. There's also the Click Clack, but that's thicker and it sort of overwhelms my wrist. So I opted for this. I've had this now for about 7 years. I purchased it in Paris. I think this was my very first purchase from Hermes ever, and it was a lovely experience. Now, the reason why I say the cost per wear on this is pretty good is because this is sort of like costume jewelry, not like Chanel costume jewelry where it falls apart in minutes. This has held up quite well, as you can see. So it's gold plated. It's not solid gold, but considering it's only gold plated, there has been no tarnishing at all in 7 years, and I have not babied this thing. I wear this just like I do with any other jewelry, and right now I think the retail price is about $700 US. When I purchased this in Paris, I think it was equivalent to about $500 US, so it's gone up quite a bit, but I still think that it's a pretty decent value. It opens like this. It's an H. Now, I don't know if I would have purchased this exact bracelet with the logo, the H logo, aside from the fact that my name starts with the letter H and it just felt kind of like an initial, but of course it stands for Hermes. But they have many enamel bracelets like this that are gold plated in the same category, and they have the chain link look. They have different styles. It doesn't have to be the H if you didn't want it. And over the years, many of you have asked me for the color of this. This was a seasonal color, discontinued. I believe it was called Makeup. But there are other colors in the neutral family that are similar, and this is actually rose gold, but it looks like yellow gold because if you don't know, Hermes rose gold has less copper mixed in, so therefore it's less pink than other rose gold that you'll find from different brands, but it is rose gold plated versus solid gold. And I do apologize for the background noise. There's a lot of honking and construction, and my AC just kicked in on full blast, so you might hear that. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent value. Now, before I jump to the second item, I just want to cover some more jewelry that I've been wearing for years, and I wear them almost daily, but they were not purchases of my own. These were from my husband and from family members. So this right here, this diamond ring is from Tiffany's, and this is my wedding band. So I've had it for nearly 20 years, almost 19 years. And because I wear it almost every day, even though it was probably expensive, you know, it's cost per wear is pretty decent because 365 days a year for 19 years. And then this one here was a 15-year anniversary gift from my husband. This is from Cartier. It is the Trinity band. Not a lot of people have it. I love what it stands for. You can look it up. It's quite meaningful. And then this right here is a discontinued model, but this is a Cartier watch that was quite popular back in the day. My parents gifted this to me when I got married. It was an engagement gift, probably the most expensive gift they've given me other than my education and a roof over my head. So it's very, very special. I've always said I will never get another watch. I don't need another watch because this does the trick. So this is the Demoiselle. And I know some of you over the years have asked me and have tried to find this on the pre-loved market, but there aren't a whole lot. There's a real, let me show you, there's actually a really beautiful sapphire stone right here. That's a real sapphire, and I've had this for longer than my wedding band. So again, about 2 decades, because it was before I got married when I was engaged. And I've gotten this serviced a couple times from Cartier, and their service is phenomenal. The scratches they were able to buff out and polish. They've replaced the battery a couple of times, and they're just great. So I highly recommend Cartier if you're on the market for a watch. And then the other item I want to show you is not jewelry, but also a gift from my husband, and it's my oldest Chanel piece. This one right here, this is now technically vintage because it's over 20 years old. I think My husband got this for me when we were either dating or just engaged. So we were quite young. It was at Saks Fifth Avenue. I saw this, I thought it was really pretty, and he bought it for me. So it's my oldest Chanel, and it's holding up quite well. I will say the quality back then was really different from what it is now. This is the enlarged quilting, and it's just a classic card holder. I have all the, you know, the authenticity card and everything in here. I keep it all nice, but I've used this a ton, and you would think that threads would be coming out by now. There's a little bit of loose thread here, but I think it's in pretty excellent condition. So I just wanted to show you those items, and I also just popped on my engagement ring in case anybody was wondering why I didn't show it. This is from a designer called Mimi So. She's based out in New York. Back in the day, she was really popular with a bunch of celebrities like Beyonce, but I don't know what she's up to these days. Really gorgeous 4-prong solitaire set in platinum, but I didn't want to really include this in the cost per wear because this is going to have to be worn for the rest of my life to bring the cost per wear down. So I don't really think it's a great cost per wear. You know, it's anytime you buy expensive diamond jewelry, you're going to have to make it worth it by wearing it a lot. All right, let's jump into the purchases that I've made. So aside from the Click H, I'm going to show you what's in here. So this bag is not included in my top 10 cost per wear items, but I want to show you I'm using this bag a lot. You guys might remember I got this off of W Concept, which is a really cool website where they curate a bunch of like lesser known Korean brands and designers, and they bring them together on this online platform, make it really easy for customers to shop. So this has been pretty much my go-to this summer, and I've got all my stuff in here. But the item I wanted to show you is the LV key pouch, because this is my most used small leather good, if you will, even though it's canvas, it's not leather. But this in damier bin is pretty much indestructible. I throw this around. I've got my keys on here, my library card on here, and I will take this with me everywhere, every day. Now, you don't have to get one that's from LV, but I think the canvas is just perfect for this kind of situation where it's a lot of usage, a lot of, you know, touching and throwing in and out of bags, and you're not going to baby it. Canvas is just great for that. It's water resistant, as we know. It's scratch resistant. So if you have keys that you don't want to scratch the bottom of your bags, especially leather lined bags, and you want to protect, I used to use just like a little cotton dust cloth. You can do that too, but this has just been great. It's so handy, easy. And you know, I just open my home door and my mailbox keys on there. Now, if you have a large car key, you probably have to dangle it out, so that would be something else to consider. So that's item number 2 I wanted to share. And then let's jump into some bigger items. So let me show you this one. This you might be able to guess. This is my Givenchy Antigona mini size, and I feel like no one really talks about this bag anymore, but I've gotten a lot of wear out of this bag, and I think at the time I might have paid, oh gosh, I don't remember. I think it was definitely under $1,500, maybe like $1,100 or something, or maybe with a promo even less than that. But it's been a few years, and this color is really hard to find. I know a lot of you have asked me about it. It's like this sugared goatskin, brown, shimmery, gorgeous. They haven't brought this back except for in the shiny lord skin. But this is textured. I just love it. I think it's a great bag. I think it's timeless. It's very recognizable. So I think some people feel like this is a trend bag and it's gone out of trend, but I like to use whatever I like to use, regardless of trends. So this has been pretty good cost per wear, I will say, out of my luxury purchases. Then I have to show you, of course, 2 Louis Vuitton bags. You know this one right here, but let me show you this first. You guys know this was my first ever LV bag purchase. I was not really a fan of LV for many, many years, and I used to tease my mom about having LV bags. But the Pochette Metis converted me. This is the bag that converted me, because I think this silhouette is just very smart, and the compartments make it really organized, especially as a mom on the go. The strap, so easy. Love that it's versatile. And so I got this and I wore it a lot, and I still continue to use it. It's still one of my most worn, especially when it's bad weather. I do not fuss about wearing this in the rain or the snow. Even with the vachetta leather here, I've sprayed it down with apple guards, so you can see there's really no issue. Usually when you have raw vachetta leather like this, if you don't protect it, it will definitely get stained and it will be marked with water spots. But I did spray this down a couple of times, and so the patina is pretty even and nice. This is a great bag. You don't have to get it from LV if you want to reduce your cost. Coach had the Cassie, which I think is now, is it discontinued? But Coach came out with this style first, and then LV came out with it. There's also the dress up your purse version if you want more of a subtle all leather version without the monogram, and it's a fraction of the price. I've shown it here. This also one of my most used, most versatile pieces, the pochette. This can be used with the Pochette Metis strap. This can be used with other straps. The shorter vachetta leather strap comes with it. Also, I've put this gold chain on it. You can also just use it as a clutch, as a catch-all in bigger bags. It's just great. It's easy, although they have changed the design of this and they've raised the price on it. So I would say look on the pre-loved market, or just look for, you know, a pristine condition one that was the older model, because you don't need all the bells and whistles of the newer model. You really don't. They've added all the stuff on the inside. It's heavier. It's just unnecessary. You don't need all the different chains and straps they include with it. Okay, so the LV Pochette has worked great for me. This one too, I don't think my regulars are going to be surprised at all. My Chanel wallet on chain. I am a huge fan of the wallet on chain. I used to have 3 or 4, but now I'm down to 2. This one and the filigree walk, but this is the classic go-to black caviar silver hardware. I have a base shaper in here to keep it nicely structured. It opens it up. It's a game changer. Otherwise, it's quite flat and kind of hard to get in and out of. But once you have the base shaper in there, it's pretty user friendly, and you guys know the pockets are all pretty functional. So this one, I think, what is it now, $3,500 retail? I know it's a lot for a little tiny mini bag, but this can be dressed up or down, and I've used it a ton, and especially in the classic black, if you wear a pretty neutral wardrobe, it will work really well for a lot of occasions, and so I think this was worth it for me for sure. And then we've got another mini bag. This is the Mini Evelyn, and mine's in the gold color with the gold hardware. This surprisingly has turned out to be one of my most used bags year after year. It's just really light and easy, no fuss, no compartments, but you can just put all your essentials in there. And maybe it's the color, but it works with pretty much everything. It's pretty casual, kind of hard to dress up because it has this woven sort of cotton fabric strap, but it's really comfortable. You can also put a fancier strap, or you can put a chain on here, which I've done in the past just to play around with it. But it's a fairly casual looking bag. If you know the history of the Evelyn silhouette, you know this was made to hold horse brushes, and that's why there are holes here. The perforation is meant to air out the brushes. So it's not really a formal or fancy bag. And then if you saw the dust bag, you'll know what this is, because I only have one bag from Saint Laurent at the moment. And it is my toy Lulu, which I have admitted that I haven't been wearing all that much in the recent past year or so, but I wore it so much when I first got it, and I think I got it for under $1,000 at the time with the promo. And they changed the design a little bit. I know the middle compartment is different now. The hardware and the strap is a little bit different. So you may want to take a close look at that if you're on the market for a new one and compare it to the pre-loved older models. I quite like this bag. My kids love this bag, you guys know. It's the puffy pillow bag, as they call it, because it's very soft and smushy. And I wore this bag so much the first few years that I got it that I kind of came to be known for wearing this bag. So that kind of speaks volumes. And I still think it's a great purchase. And I did a video a while ago about how YSL prices have come down on some of the styles, which is interesting. But I think you can definitely score this either pre-loved at a deep discount or wait for a sale. Then moving on from bags, I will say another SLG that has been really functional for me is this mini O case. Now, Chanel comes out with the mini size, small, medium, large. Like, they've got different sizes. The large one's quite large. I have it in the tweed, which you may have seen on my channel. This is caviar with light gold hardware. It's like this bright bubblegum pink. I've had this for a few years. I would have thought that the corners would have worn by now because I literally just chuck this into different bags, but so far there is no wear at all, no issues with the stitching. The reason why this is so great is because the size. As you can see, I have like just thrown a bunch of stuff in here, band-aids, perfume, hand lotion, but I can also double this as a wallet. I can throw my cards and cash and ID in here. I can also throw my keys in here. So even though it's pretty compact, it serves a lot of different purposes and it can fit a lot. So this was a pretty good purchase. I will say this is probably more functional than a traditional card holder because you can use this in different ways. Now, again, you don't have to go for the Chanel version. Dress Up Your Purse has this version here in leather, which is pretty much the exact same size and silhouette. I showed this in my recent video. I was excited to get this. I have this one now and also one in black. I haven't used it yet because it is new to me, but I think it's really pretty and there's a lot of different colors. So again, if you wanted to save money and buy something very similar for a fraction of the price, you can do that. I believe these are now going for about $550, maybe $600, $650 off the top of my head. But I bought this one a few years ago. It's quite nice, but I only have one. One is plenty, you don't need more. And then the last item is a really good pair of sunglasses. And I am not somebody who wears like 15 different types of sunglasses on rotation. For me, sunglasses are just to block out the sun and a little bit of a fashion statement, I guess, but really more function over fashion. So these I got from Louis Vuitton years ago. Many of you have been intrigued by these because of the way they open. So they're really flat and then they open like this. And they have the monogram wrapped all the way around in canvas, gold hardware, the slight, very subtle cat eye happening. Love the tortoise. So you can close it like this, but it also saves space and lies flatter if you close it like that. Right? So I don't know if these are still available in the store, but I also love that this came with the Eastern fit. So they had the Eastern and Western, and I got to choose because I have an Asian small nose bridge and the Eastern fit works better. So because I have this and I don't have many other sunglasses and I wear this a lot, it's been pretty good in terms of cost per wear. And then a few years later, after purchasing this from LV, I got these sunglasses from Gucci because, again, while they were not specifically Eastern fit, the saleswoman had said to me that a lot of Asians were buying this because of the nose pads and how the support was, and it's for people with high cheekbones and small nose bridges. And I was like, okay, that's me, because as soon as I tried them on, they were so comfortable. And I thought, since I have a brown pair of sunglasses that I love so much, having just a solid basic black pair would not be a bad idea, because depending on your outfit, right? This has a graded effect. I don't know what to call it, but it's darker on top and it kind of fades, and it's got the Gucci logo on the sides, but it's not too loud. And so I will say, because I have just these two sunglasses, they are plenty for me, and I don't have to go through the decision making of the day of which sunglasses to bring with which outfit. It's literally black or brown, and that's it. Whatever one matches best with my outfit of the day. And I've been wearing them a lot, so they've worked out pretty decently in terms of cost per wear. Now, you will have noticed that I did not include any shoes, because shoes or sneakers or high heels, boots from luxury brands, I feel, are not that great in terms of cost per wear, because you can buy a pair of Nikes for a tiny fraction of the price of $1,000 Chanel sneakers. And, you know, how can you ever justify the cost per wear, right? So for me, the best sneakers, you guys know, I've said this over the years, over and over again, are the Cole Haan Grand Pro tennis sneakers. There are different variations, different names, like slightly different names. And I'm telling you, if you buy the wrong one that's kind of similar just to save like 20 bucks, you're not going to feel the comfort of the ones that I'm talking about. But the ones that I'm talking about, many of you have bought and you've messaged me and been raving about them. I own several pairs. My husband, my mom, my dad, I have bought sneakers for them because I was like, this is so comfortable, so lightweight, and they're leather, so they're wipeable. And I live in Manhattan and I'm walking the concrete jungle all the time, so I need to feel comfortable on my feet, but also the sneakers cannot get dirty instantly. They have to last. So they're not luxury, but they are branded, right? Cole Haan. And I think they're about 150 bucks or so now. These exact styles hardly ever go on sale because they are a bestseller. The other ones do go on sale, but they're not the same. They're not as soft. They're not as light. The back heel is not as comfortable. I've tried them all on. But I just wanted to mention those sneakers. I'll link the exact ones down below in my description box for those of you who keep asking me, because I feel like a broken record, but those are still my favorites and absolutely the best in terms of cost per wear out of any of the sneakers that I own. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I satisfied those of you who asked for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to know which luxury items you consider to have really good cost per wear. If you have any recommendations or anything you'd like to share, please put it in the comments below. I think it's really interesting to be able to see what everyone's style and preferences are and which items have worked out for you. I'd love to know. So do leave me a comment. And if you're not subscribed to my channel already, I would love for you to join this community. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.